With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
If you're a lineman in charge of keeping the lights on, Granger understands that you go to great lengths and sometimes heights to ensure the power is always flowing, which is why you can count on Granger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so you have everything you need to get the job done. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
Hey guys, welcome to Creators Today. We have a special guest.
Hi guys, how are you? I'm Gabriela Kostadinova, or Shulgach, my married name.
Your married name. I'm Steven Shulgach, the one who gave her that last name.
Welcome to the show. I'm so glad.
Thank you. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
having us. Really, we've been looking forward to this, so I'm so glad it's happening.
Yeah, me too.
Yay. So, okay, first and foremost, you both are in the industry. You're an actress. You're a cinematographer. You guys work together. That's incredible. Did you guys plan this?
Did we plan?
That's so funny. It's a good question. But by the way, this is not our home.
Yeah.
But we could have left it as an illusion. But this is just a great
Just a surprise. Keep the magic.
Do we plan it? I mean, honestly, I'm gonna say personally, my summary of this is divine appointment. There's no plan of that whatsoever. I had no idea that I would even want to be an actor when I met Steven.
And
Wow.
I do know that when she, actually it's funny and a longer story, but our love for the art is what brought us together. What found us on essentially a set that it was actually a Star Wars fan film I was shooting.
Which has like almost 2 million views on YouTube now.
People like
I probably shouldn't say this because I mean it's great. It's a great achievement. These guys did amazing, but it is our earliest work. So it's like
you know how all artists feel about their older work. So people watch it, or they seem to love it. So we must have done something right.
Yeah.
But that was the project that brought us together. She auditioned for the short, and me and my brothers were auditioning.
With a monologue from 300, mind you.
Yeah.
Somehow worked out. They thought it was.
Yeah, you're like you fit the part. We're good. You got it.
You got it.
So that's when we officially met. But we did.
And that was when I was first starting to like play with acting. I was like, because I had been a dancer up until that point, and I was going into graphic design. I was like, I just love the arts, but I was also kind of like more of a shy person, and like dancing was my way of like visceral expression. And for some reason I was like, I don't know, maybe I should try this. Like something piqued my interest. And one of my friends from my dance class told me about some auditions going on for some Star Wars fan film, and I'm like, why not? I guess. And that's when it started. And I was just kind of toying around with it, I guess, but I never knew that it would kickstart. Even though we were so much in the beginning of what we're doing, there was enough passion and love in it to feel like, okay, we could keep going. Like we're such amateurs at this, but something is making us keep moving forward. Like looking back now, I'm like, wow, like we didn't know, I didn't know how bad I was or like how much in the beginning of it all I was.
I think everybody shared the same idea as like,
but there was
we weren't conscious about like, there was a faith in the project. There was just faith in what everyone as individual artists had faith in what they were doing, and they loved to do it while they were doing it, which is what kept us keep going. to keep going with the project. But yeah, we didn't know it was gonna blow up the way it did.
Faith in the project, but a genuine sincerity. It was genuine innocence and sincerity and desire to just create and be.
Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting radio-exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
The best you can be for all the good reasons. So I think that kickstarted it all.
That's amazing. That's awesome that you guys meet on the set and then it's just like, it was meant to be. So fast forward, you guys are hanging out, you guys get together, you're married now. So was it like now that you're acting, you're acting now, was it like automatic that, because, you shoot, so it's like, let's make stuff together?
Almost too automatic. I almost took it as like, it was immediately, it was my brain puts, it's like I'm like a child with a Lego set. I'm like, oh, okay, we got people who can do this and this and this and this and this. Let's put it together. So we did. I think it almost came as a no-brainer because Steven is such a good collaborator and he's such a kind person, and he was always so ready to be a team player and vice versa. And whenever there was a certain vision to execute, it was like a no-brainer that we would come together and do either like a little short film. Like we even did a project together. The first time I think we worked together outside of that feature film was in class. Like we had some project that was assigned and we're like, why don't we just make it into a bigger thing? And we just really realized we work well together as a team creatively. And then when I got more into acting, I was like, it was that naivete, passion that didn't care about other people's criticism. It was more like, let's just make things because we feel them and we want to express them.
I think when she said it was a no-brainer, that's the perfect word for it, I think, because really you're not, as an artist, you're not thinking about, in its core, you're not thinking about all the logistics that are involved. You're just going off of this instinct of, oh yeah, you can do this. And then this nonverbal sort of agreeing to the project happens when people start talking and brainstorming. And then before you know it, something's made and you're like further down the road.
Yeah.
So that happened a lot.
And
not just in film. And then slowly, it as our individual like professions, as we started kind of going down that path, we've chiseled out, I want to say we've influenced each other down the path that sort of aligned us to find ourselves and kind of closely and more, how do you say it? I guess find our true selves in that profession that we picked.
And I think we fell in love with not just each other, but with our creative minds, which are such a big part of a human being anyway. So our artistic sides really seamlessly flowed into the love that we have for each other as individuals as well.
That's amazing. Please tell us about your individual, a little touch on your individual careers. Like either one can start first. It's up to you.
You go first.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Steven. I would say you go ahead, but I know ladies first. So I will admire your chivalry. Thank you. Well, I would say my acting coach and mentor, Dimiter Marinov, he always says this thing, which I think we all know deep down and we all want to do in this world, but he always punctuates this one question and this one thing to live by as an artist. It is, what do you want to say to the world, and what is it that you want to express through your art? And I think we all start with this idea of there's always so many things that pull on us when we get interested in something. You know, we see other people doing it, we see projects that have done it, things that have inspired us. And that's really how it started for me. Is, you know, I fell in love with The Lord of the Rings, and then some other, you know, so many other series that really did take on the world so strongly. And you really start to fall in love with the human expression and how someone makes you feel, and you in turn want to make people feel that as well. And it depends on whatever inclination, God-given inclinations or self-developed inclinations afterwards. Acting didn't come to me until I was 21, essentially. And whether I had it or not, the instinct, I didn't really discover it and start working with it until I was 21, because life had its way of pulling that confidence out of me. And there was a lot that changed. Acting, in short, gave me a lot of confidence and so much more depth in who I am, with an affinity towards life and the finer things in life in a way that I knew they existed but wasn't able to touch them before. Dance was the closest I think I came to that, but I knew that there was a more, how do I say this, a more subtle way and a deeper way to elaborate on some specific emotions. And it was also, acting has been the only thing that I feel like has been the gift that keeps on giving, or more so even also the career that keeps on challenging me. I feel like no matter what I do, dancing is the same, but with acting, for some reason, it just keeps challenging me. And it requires this level of emotional intelligence that I for sure knew that I had an idea of, but I knew I also didn't have developed. So I was like, this is such an amazing challenge for me to develop in that direction, because I feel like I'm constantly being prompted by the world. And I just wanted to reach that level of understanding of humanity. And with that came a quest for that, I guess. And I think we all have to serve our dues and do anything that brings our talent up. You know, you do comedy, you do little silly commercials, you do, you know, things all over the place to stay creative and develop your instrument. But I think the thing that has kept me going throughout this, it's been about 5 or 6 years of actually doing it professionally in a more focused manner. The only thing that's really kept me going is those beautiful moments of when the veil almost like lifts and you feel like you have been able to connect to the fabric of the world in an imaginary situation, which, however, evokes really real feelings. And we recently, just the other day, actually received an email. There was a show that we did about 3 years ago called Daily Bread. It's a post-apocalyptic show about when an EMP hits and the whole world just becomes this post-apocalyptic ground where no one, everyone's lives has changed. And, you know, it was a show that we shot in Virginia. It was a wonderfully thought out show. It was so soulful. And we did it. We made incredible friends and incredible connections. We grew so much in our craft, and it was such a good way to also grow as artists, because there's so many topics that were touched upon that even we didn't see the vision that the showmaker had, in the sense that Nina May is her name. She is such a wise and spirited woman, and she put even more soul into it than what we even thought we were seeing. And we got an email like 2 days ago from a man who had lost his wife in 2018, and he started watching all these post-apocalyptic shows, apparently to, in a way, connect to the pain of the world, and he felt his pain reflected in it. And all of a sudden he said that when he came across ours, he found that the difference was that ours had more of a divine presence in it, and there's a bit of a more hope and thriving rather than just surviving. And he was able to connect in a way that he hadn't been ever since his wife died, because he isolated himself. And the compliments and his sentiments that he expressed towards us was something that is the one thing that we all, even subconsciously, we didn't even know that that's what we were going for. And to see that someone felt fulfilled from something that we were doing because we thought it was a cool project. We thought that, you know, of course we love the topic and we love the people, but we were just doing it because we were advancing our careers. But all of a sudden you see that someone was so touched by something on a profound level. To wrap up my narrative, that's what drives me to do what I do. Is
That's
when I see even one person touched. Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh. And I didn't even fully recognize that. It was God using us. It was just the whole fabric of everything that everyone does. Cinematographers, composer, like we just coming together. I love as an actor being a part of a team
Yeah.
that brings forth something that just touches people in a way that you cannot do it by yourself, or you cannot do it through, you cannot, you know what you want to do, but you can't go out express it alone. And it's just, it's mind blowing how that works.
Yeah, I was just gonna quickly add that
Sorry,
when you get no, it's good. There's so much to talk about too. But when you get lost in using the talent, skills, and gifts that you've been given and worked on, when you get lost into that, it ultimately does bleed out this sort of effect to other people.
Lost into it is a good way of putting it.
And and I think he's one of probably many that been touched in some way by the story,
because we did think it was such an, we knew, as anyone watching their own work, is like, oh, there are imperfections to this or that. As an artist, we always critique, we're our own worst critic, of course. And then, but seeing that even those imperfect performances and that very real pursuit of perfection, even that can touch people. As a matter of fact, the imperfections are what makes it even more real in a way. And so, as an actor, I think that will always be my motivation. And to, again, quote my mentor, what it is that I want to give to the world is, I just want to be the best communicator of topics that touch people on a deep level and changes them from the inside out without even realizing, just like the way that show changed us without us even realizing. We just went in to play parts, and all of a sudden it became so much more profound than it is. And I love that about this whole medium.
Even from crew side, you go in with whatever experience and past you have to apply to something new, and every time out of a project take something out of it. We definitely took something out of it as a crew member.
As a person.
We grew as a person, as a family with the other crew members. We're all really good friends now.
Yeah, and lifelong friends, I would say.
Yeah, because every project, and then you would know, every project you on, that's whether a feature or a series or a long-term project of any kind, the crew and cast can really become a family, because everybody goes through what this is really,
it's a human experience in a way, like you all go through like war together in a way.
Yeah, it is like a war. You all encounter problems
Blood,
together
sweat,
and put everyone together, realizing that everybody together made it happen. You're all more strong, like joint together, even stronger.
So what made you go into cinematography?
What made me go? So I started a long time ago when I was a young teenager. I got
self-taught.
Awesome.
So where that started,
amazing,
was I always had a fascination with technology. So I spent a lot of time on the computer, even though my mom couldn't stand us being on the computer. But there was so much that we could learn from it and that we got from it. And I started in visual effects. I started with animation. I just was playing with things, mainly because my younger brother was doing some animation, so I had some interest in that, and my older brother was doing some camera work. So I do give them credit for my merge of this technology and camera, because they did start doing that. They were interested in it first, and then I just sort of observed it. But with that, I sort of migrated to photography, and I bought myself a Nikon D7000 at the time. I was going to use it for photography. It was a great camera, for what I knew at the time. And even now it stands the test of time. The quality I was able to build from it, I learned from it, just used it inside and out. Everything to know about that.
And at the time we were like, oh, that's professional. Like, that looks so good. And it still looks so good. But little did we know about Alexas and lens. But it was the growth. It was such honest growth.
It was a taste of what's out there. So it was photography, right? And then I started using the video feature on the camera, and just started shooting everything and anything I could think about, and started doing those backyard films. So, I call them backyard films, or the films you do with your friends and family, saying, hey, I got this idea. You want to come over and we can just shoot it and we'll put something together? And slowly but surely that sort of migrated into then our Star Wars fan film, which is called Revan. And that was this much larger project, and where we started taking it more seriously. But still at the time, I didn't think, even after that fan film, I was like, I don't know, I can't make a living off this. I was focusing on computer science in school at the time. So I didn't think much of it. But I started getting on some sets with some friends of ours here, in Maryland. They're a great company. They're called Simpatico. They're run by Zach Myers and Everett Glovier at the time. They brought me on a set that got me really like more connected to the essentially the industry side. They're like how you actually do things, the professional ways we handle these things, the set etiquette, all this stuff.
They made an awesome movie called Chemistry 101. It's like I think an award-winning short at this point, and
that's actually
we were both really inspired by the amazing people that we saw. We're like, whoa, there's people that are so much better than us. Let's learn.
So it was from that. It was. So I got on the set because of Zach and Ever. They're great friends of mine, and I love them and love their work. And Mike Reft, who was the director of Chemistry 101, I worked with him. We all really got along really well. We loved the work that we created together on set for that project. And then little did I know that Mike was more connected in the industry in the DMV area here in Baltimore. And so with that, I find Mike reached out to me. I found myself fulfilling a role that he was gracious enough to offer to me a position as a second AC, or even as a camera PA. I filled in his role, and that's sort of what started my journey from there. I met Spencer Grunler and Kyle Dietz at the time. They were like so nice to like teach me, willing to answer all my questions at the time that I was just asking. How do I do this? How do I do this? Really, you had to.
Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting radio-exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
To not be afraid of making mistakes, because I made a lot of mistakes. And a lot of people.
But anyone who's met Steven knows that he's such a likable person that you just cannot get mad at him. So he's so easy to work with, and he's so intelligent that
you just gotta ask questions. And I'm really grateful to the people that did help me. And there's a lot of people, and that's just like the taste of it. But long story short, after working on a few projects in Maryland that sort of warmed me up a little bit, when we moved to LA, that's when I met some really amazing people. Some of the first people that I got connected with was Ben Slavens. He's a great cinematographer. He was the first AC at the time, and now he works as cinematographer. He's an amazing guy. I met this another amazing DP. His name is Pascal Combs-Canoke is his name. He is this. He's an awesome guy of French descent, and he was like what I thought LA was at the time. He was this artist. He was so like ambitious what he was doing. He was like energetic. He was doing so many things. His style of lighting was beautiful. His camera work just felt so intuitive. So I learned so much by watching this guy, and all the work that I've also been able to work and collaborate. I'm grateful to get on set with him from the projects that I was able to. And then other people that I worked at as a first AC. And so my initial beginning of working as a videographer and photographer at the time sort of morphed into this role, as a lot of people on film sets, start from the bottom, not the bottom, but you start on a position that you didn't have your main interest in. But I learned that coming from as a camera PA, and then I started working as a second AC, a few jobs, and then mainly started hitting it off as the first AC.
And of course he's so good that everyone requests him back, because this too, Meosha, like it's all about referrals, and it was just, I feel like it was so easy for these people to like hit up Steven and then offer him bigger positions too.
So it's a long-term investment of people and friendship and trust and collaboration that these people would, we'd want to collaborate. After one time on a set, I actually met this DP. His name is Gevorg Sarkisyan, but I met Gevorg Sarkisyan. He was another DP, amazing DP that just, there's so much to learn from each one. So I worked as a first AC under him, Matt Giblin was another great guy that actually Everett connected me to from East Coast to West Coast that I got connected. And again, another great guy, and all DPs. So I've learned a lot from working under these DPs and great people as a first AC to learn how to be a salesman as a DP, how to be diplomatic, how to be creative, how to be a problem solver, how to be efficient, how to be all these things, these great qualities of what a lot of great DPs are made of. And I've taken that and I've merged it with my own taste, my own vision of what I've been able to build over time, especially working with Gabby, which there's so many projects that I've worked on that I've been pulled, learned from. And then when Gabby's like, hey, let's do something, let's do this, let's have this project we're gonna do, I was able to pull that knowledge and experience from these people, our own, and eventually find our taste and vision sort of align to what we can now call ours. But I give a lot of credit to all the people. Ryan Grosjean is another great guy. Evan Zissimopoulos. All these people are such. And William Rouse. These are some of the greatest people that have helped me and have helped me and have been so kind to me as a friend, and really made me who I am today. And
I love that.
How to be a better artist and a better person on set, and how to collaborate. So.
Yeah, no, you guys work so well together. Like, it's so good. Like, and everything that you guys are pumping out, it's brilliant. And, which brings me to my next question. It's like, how do you guys make this work? You guys are married, you work together, any advice to people that are together and also in the industry?
Right. That's a good question. How they always say that it's hard for married people to work together, and how it's a challenge when they're in the same industry. I guess it really does come down to the common purpose, because we're not in competition with each other. First and foremost, we know that we need each other, and we're collaborators. And especially when we have the same belief system, same vision and goal for what we want to bring to humanity, so to speak, we see how we can best combine those efforts, both in production and in instructing each other. Like, we always come to one another for advice when it comes to, should we get connected with this project or with that person? Because while it's so exciting to create together and to be plugged into the world, and you and I, Meosha, have also talked so much about that, how we should also be selective and, know our brand and know what it is we're going for. And it's so amazing. Actually, I wouldn't be able to do this without Steven personally, to be able to have a sounding board and ask him, hey, do you think this is worth it? Or, hey, does this sound good to you? Or how does this person come off? Like, of course, I think with diplomacy and working with people is so important in our industry, but there are also times when you have to pick your battles and know who to connect with, and how to approach a certain connection when it doesn't stand on the most solid ground, because we all want to be able to be as good and as open and loving towards people as possible, and cooperative. But at the same time, you also want to stay connected with the correct people, who, not in terms of opportunities, but in terms of who do we jive with the most, that who resonates our vision. And I was told, I spoke to a wonderful gentleman he was in the movie Green Book. His name is Mike Hatton. He was one of the Don Shirley trio. He said to me, we met, it was like my mentor introduced me to him, and I felt so new, and I was like, he was like, do I know you from anything? I was like, well, I mean, Daily Bread, and there's this one other feature film, First Lady, and so it's like, I'm not more of a new actor in the industry. I just felt like I couldn't really impress with anything, but he was so kind and so open and so loving, and he found out that I was also married, and he looked me in the eye and he said, keep going and keep doing what you're doing. And what a blessing that you're married. He said, I wouldn't be where I am today without my wife. So you guys stay very close to each other. When a lot of people from the industry dissuade marriage, I've heard quite a few people dissuade marriage, and say that it can trap you and whatnot. But and I've visited all those thoughts as an actor, like, am I actually being, how am I developing in terms of my personal emotions? Is there anything I need to, do I need to spend a lot of alone time in terms of specific facets of humanity? But I've really found that through marriage, I've discovered a whole other facet of this world and being human that I never thought I would. And, sometimes you don't even ask for those lessons. They just come because of being devoted to someone and putting yourself second, and all those compromises, and the beauty of two people working together.
And also them believing in you. And I think someone believing in you, the people that even we believe in, some people that are also up and coming in our footsteps, as we can say, even in that case, with the people that believe in you. And one person, I can't believe I didn't mention that before, but
I wanted to be so involved always. I'm like, Matt shooting something, I want to be in it. This
particular director who has such a powerful vision, a particular vision that's really powerful, and he's got such a knack. He's such a natural at directing, how he communicates with actors and how he just guides a project. He's a born director.
He's one of those that you see and you're like, this guy's gonna make it.
Yeah,
really far.
He's the reason that that I was able to essentially. I worked on a lot of student films. That's one thing I forgot to mention. Student films. Matt Lisinski was one where I worked on 3 shorts and then a feature with him, and that really refined my work with him. But at the time, Matt, who was also growing in school, and he was finding his way of art, but believed in another fellow collaborator. And before you know, you two are making things together, and you're not thinking so much at the time. When you reflect back on it now, you think, if only we knew what it would be like after it. But you can't think on that. You're only thinking in the moments.
True.
A lot of people come together to make that happen.
Absolutely. What last question because of the time, but gosh, you guys, this is a great interview.
This is too fun. I can talk all day. And if anyone knows me, like if you know Meosha, you know that you can have incredible conversations, and every single word is so valuable. So it's I can talk forever.
Ditto, guys. You guys are amazing. I love it. What advice would you give to someone that wants to just in the business, whether it's acting, photography? What advice would you guys give?
The best advice I can give, and from what I've understood about this art form, know who you are and what it is you want to give to the world, and go full on trusting that all of your instincts, all of your circumstances, all the people that you know in your life, and everything that you're doing is exactly what you're supposed to be doing, and you're exactly where you need to be. Do not chase carrots. Do not compare yourself. Do not try to emulate someone, because you don't want to be a secondhand version of anyone else. You want to be the firsthand version of you. So never, ever compromise on that, and really sit with yourself. And if you want to be an actor, sit with yourself and know why. Really get honest with yourself and real. Know why you want to do it. When you remove all the glamour, all the things that we chase, that we see, remove all that. At the very core sits you. And when you know who you are, and when you become confident and know that you don't need to be validated by anyone else, then you become a powerhouse. And then all the right people will start coming to you. You will start gravitating towards them. You will meet exactly the people you need to meet in order to bring your vision forth. And you will find how many people actually are walking in the same direction that you're striving for. They will find you. You don't worry. You just keep doing the work. Don't get distracted by all the side noise, and study. Really dig into your craft. That's the other thing. One is the gut, but the other thing is really getting good at, just like a runner. You may have a certain strength of spirit, but you have to learn how to hone in your muscles. Just study, never stop studying, never stop growing and pushing and expanding. Al Pacino, he studies with his mentor once a week, I believe, for 3-4 hours. So just discipline, soul, desire, and just know what you're going for. When your life passion and your life goal and who you are as a person align with your craft and your artistic desires, you just cannot separate them anymore. And you don't become a workaholic anymore. You just become a living and breathing artist, and that's a lifelong pursuit. So it's just so exciting. So enjoy it, and love what you've been given, and give it freely to the world. At the end of your life, I think Paul Walker, God rest his soul, he said that when he leaves this world, he said, when I leave this world, I want to be emptied out as a shell. I want to be a shell. I don't want anything to remain in me. And one last thought, which is, I'll finish it on a good thing, but they say the graveyard is the richest place on earth, because the graveyard contains all the talents and undiscovered potential that people never put forth.
Wow.
Die an empty shell is what I'm going to say.
Jeez,
These are my words of motivation.
Wow. I love it.
In any area
so
of life.
morbid.
Drop the mic. Whew, that was great.
How do you follow that? I think anyone to speak towards people who are coming up as a cinematographer or want to know more about how to be in the film industry. It's to never stop exploring it, never stop trying new ways, trying new tools, techniques for yourself to build this taste and vision that you will find over time that is yours. And don't also realize that you by yourself will not get you to where you want to be. The people around you, the people you collaborate with are ultimately the reason why you grow.
So true.
People help each other. The industry is all about
ask for help. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say that. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it.
Don't be afraid to grow. And in growing, you that can mean don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to collaborate. To say don't be afraid to say yes to some challenges. And realize that it's the people around you that is what makes, in this profession of film set, it's the people, it's the family of the project is what makes it happen. So you're not, if you ever think you're the only one, or you're the one that is the reason that a project happens, I think that's a path down, that's down a dangerous path that we need to point outwards, basically what I'm saying, and realize that the people around you are the ones that really make you who you are.
Yeah.
In the meantime, always, like I was saying first, always try new ways, new techniques, watch a bunch of films, dissect it, just research, do your research, learn about it, and then practice and play with things, make it fun, follow that passion that you have. If in cinematography, it is something you do want to pursue. And there's always more to learn. Never think you know everything for everybody, for as long as you live.
And to riff off of Steven, there's a saying in acting about how when you make your partner more important than you are, that is when the real magic happens. That's when you forget about yourself and all your inner worries and insecurities, and you become a vessel for humanity, for art, whatever it is you want to show. Just love people. And that's love. To put that in the middle,
be a friend.
Everything is going to come.
Be a friend. Be nice. Just be human with people. People want to work with other humans. They don't want to work with someone who's trying to step on them and all that stuff.
Yeah,
that's true. That's so true. Well, guys, you are wonderful. I'm so sorry that it's like such a short time, but you guys, thank you so much for the gems that you guys dropped on this episode. This is great. I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed talking to you guys. Is there anything really quick that you guys are working on coming out? Plugs for your Instagram, where people can find you really quick?
Oh yeah. You can follow us on I'm Shulgachi, SHULGACHY on Instagram. You can figure out what we're doing in there.
And I'm at foreign, like the word foreign, period factor, because I'm foreign. We have an upcoming show that's in the works right now called The Fallen. Actually, Meosha is also involved with it, and it's a wonderful 80s paranormal type of show, hoping to shoot in Bulgaria. And aside from that, we have just a few things in pre-production. And check out Daily Bread, I guess. That's also really
check it out, guys. Check it out.
Amazon. So that's some of our previous work. But other than that, just little projects here and there that we're working on in the meantime while the pandemic is going on.
Cool. Thank you so much. All right, guys, there you have it. Until next time, live, love, laugh. Bye, guys.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.